still calling?
Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, Huggy Bear, Sadiq. You want to tell everybody who Huggy Bear is?
If you
For
watch,
the people who don't know.
and especially if you're really young, if you watch the classic show Baretta, starring Robert Blake, who was a little rascal, Huggy Bear was Antonio Fargas, who gave the information of what was happening on the street.
Right. He was a snitch.
Yeah, snitch and wannabe pimp.
Agent 800.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So anyway, thank you for that. And thank you guys on Facebook for being here today. As always, you guys help the conversation go a lot smoother.
You guys rock.
Hello to you on the podcast, all 11,000 of you podcast. Thank you so much. Also, to those on YouTube, you will eventually see this in all of its glory. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel for more insightful commentary. And so,
wait.
Yes.
You forgot to thank our people to thank. Mr. Guyton?
Oh, yes. I was getting to that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I said my cheese.
Yes. He's not here right now, but I wanted to thank Marcus Guyton. Thank you, Donovan.
Okay.
Marcus Guyton for everything that he does. I believe he's probably a little bit tied up today. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and get started. The purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all the things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, right? And so if you guys are, for whatever reason, watching in the watch parties, please come on this side so that I can see your comments because I can't see them in the watch party. So anyway, right? Our topic is, if our Black unity is not as strong as the hate for Michael Vick is, I don't want it. So what do I mean by that? Let me give you a little background here. In 2007, Michael Vick, who was a quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles, was convicted and sentenced to 23 months in federal prison for funding and operating a dog fighting ring that resulted in the brutal murder of many dogs, pit bulls, I guess it was, to be exact. And I'm going to get to every last one of you guys' comments. In fact, he admitted that he actually helped kill 6 to 8 underperforming dogs. So they killed the dogs when they were underperforming.
He better never, ever run across my path.
We know you animal fanatic, you. And so he did admit to doing it because there was a lot of speculation out there saying, he didn't actually participate in killing the dogs, but he did admit that he participated in killing 6 to 8 dogs, right? Okay, now he was released in 2009 after serving 18 months and was signed to the Philadelphia Eagles after that. But it wasn't without major backlash from many animal rights activists who also are known as a copious amount of white supremacists, okay, because that's who that is. And there's no doubt in my mind that lots of white supremacists who are against Michael Vick, even to this day. Now, back then he was booed and jeered while he was on and off the field, even though he paid his debt to society.
Not enough, nigga.
For a lack of better words, he has gotten and is getting the O.J. Simpson treatment. If you guys don't know what that means, you must live under a rock. So anyway, fast forward to today. Michael Vick has been selected to serve as one of 4 legend captains at the 2020 Pro Bowl. However, the animal activists have united to try to shut it all down for Michael. Now, a woman by the name of Joanna Lynn started the petition called Do Not Allow Michael Vick to be honored in the 2020 Pro Football Bowl, whatever it is. They also want the NFL to remove him from the festivities. Now, I don't see the rest of my notes for whatever reason. They didn't transfer over, so I'm going to try to do this all from memory. And so there's also another petition going around for people who are in support of Michael Vick, saying, hey, we want you guys to keep him. I've seen several petitions. Some of them, I think one of them was like 30,000, might be more. Obviously, might be 400,000 now, the one that this white lady has put out to stop him from performing or being honored in the Pro Bowl. And so, I'm not mad at them. You know why I'm not mad at them? The white supremacists, because they know how to stay on code. They know how to stay on code regardless of what it is, especially when it means destroying black people. We know that Michael Vick has served his time He is very contrite. He is part of the ASBC. What is it? The
ASBC.
All of that.
Yeah, he's really
like an ambassador.
Yeah.
Doing so he's doing a lot of great things for animal rights. He's completely changed his life around. He admitted
that nigga hasn't changed his life around at all. That nigga needs to be under the jail.
Oh, but listen. So I've been on a lot of the comment sections of a lot of people who are mad and outright hate Michael Vick.
Mm-hmm.
They never want him to play in the NFL again.
Well,
a lot of
he's
them,
past his
right?
prime
No, but
now,
I'm saying, or have anything to do with the
it.
NFL.
They want him any records, everything pulled off.
They also want. I've seen people calling for his murder, saying that he should be done like the dogs were done. Some of the dogs were drowned, hanged, and just a lot of heinous things were done to these dogs. And so they're asking, even that he be killed. But again, I don't think anybody should be asking for somebody to be killed. But like I said, I get it. White people, and I'll go a step further and say white supremacists, they know how to stick together. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't care what it is. And so, as I said, our unity should be that strong. Okay. Like they know how to put their differences aside when it comes to organizing against somebody, as I said, especially against black people, when it comes to reaching a common goal. Their common goal is to have him shunned completely from the NFL. And I guess, wasn't he a commentator or something like that?
On ESPN.
Yeah, and they want him done from that too. Mm-hmm. So they completely want him, wiped off the face of the earth. Now, as we also know, and I'm going to get to you guys' comments, as we also know, there was a federal law passed that it is now a federal crime to kill animals, and it should be. But it is not a federal crime to lynch black people. Now, we know murder is Capital One, which is a federal crime, but they won't add that, lynching is a federal crime. And so I think it speaks volumes to us that animals have more rights and are more cared about than black people, period, bar none. And so we need to be just as strong and just as certain about our black unity and the things that are important to us as they are in hating someone like Michael Vick. Now, a lot of people might have their issues with Michael Vick. I don't know all there is to know about Michael. I know that he did
be under the jail.
Speak up. Oh, I was like, what is that? He did speak out against Kaepernick. Said something kind of silly, like he needs to cut his hair.
Well, yeah, but
that kind of
he's
stuff,
trying to get back on the team.
Yeah, but they don't want Michael Vick on the team. Obviously, right? They do not want Michael Vick on the team, and I guess that's okay. But I'm saying we in the black community should take notes. We should take notes and see how it's done, right? Like they are the majority in society right now. And I guess it's kind of is indicative as to why. Because they know how to stick together. Well, we let everything divide us.
Well, have you noticed that when the LGBTQ elemental PRS 1235738 BCA group, they use the same premise. So who's running that organization? Because usually when you have a blueprint of something and it's like a copycat killer or something. So if that group is using the same thing with their unity and how they come after, let's say, Kevin Hart, nigga, bow down, blah, blah, blah. Same type of
because
people.
They stay on the same page. They know what it is they want. Right, they don't let anybody divide.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I don't care if you're a gay white man, you're still a racist as well because you're using the same playbook.
Well, yeah, some of them.
Not all of them, some of them.
Hey, everybody. Richard says, I thought he was on Starsky and Hutch. What did you say?
Yeah, didn't I say something?
I thought he said Starsky and Hutch, but...
Oh, no. You know what? No, but he was on Beretta.
Was he on Beretta? Yeah, it was Starsky and Hutch.
It was Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My mistake.
He's always making mistakes. Yeah. It's the old age.
It is.
Hey, Charles says, hey, D. Donovan, Al, and group.
Yes.
Hello to everybody watching. And let's see. And Richard says, hi, by the way. And Al says, they lost. The Texans lost. I mean...
Yeah, I heard.
You sure you heard?
I heard. It was on highlights.
You wasn't watching,
No, I wasn't watching.
Okay.
I'm a Cowboy fan. If the Cowboys ain't playing, I ain't watching nothing.
All right. And hey, Craig, he says, you're doing a hell of a job, you and your partner. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And let's see here. And Al says, Vic also is a Fox NFL
commentator. Right.
He's on Fox, which is kind of weird because Fox is really right-wing, if you will, where a lot of white people and white supremacists really get all of their talking points from it. And so it is kind of weird. Was that your dog?
No,
it's kind
that's
of
you
weird.
leaving the screen open.
It's kind of weird that they would have somebody like Michael Vick on there, you know. And
well, you got to remember, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Got it.
So you got to bring these people out there that are, playing certain positions as analysts, and and
right.
they know what they're talking about, and then some people support them, and then that way you can't say, "Look, they're racist." They have all white analyst football players up there when the league is 70%.
But they have a dog killer on there.
Right.
And Craig says the man has paid his debt to society. Let the brother live. I mean, I agree, but Craig, they ain't gonna let black men, especially black men who have in their eyes and in everyone else's eyes have done wrong, even though they paid the debt to society. No, we want to crucify you. We want you. We want your very life.
Right.
We want you to. We will never forgive you, but. The other side, you have somebody like Brant Jean, Botham Jean's brother, who went and accepted the award from the police some damn way.
Oh, Lord.
For having a good nature, having a good heart, and forgiving Amber Geiger for mowing his brother down in cold blood in his own house.
But they won't forgive when a black person does something to their family members. It's all about revenge.
Right, but that's why I said, it's very one-sided. Their unity, they're strong in their unity no matter what it is, but...
Is it unity or fear? They're strong in their fear.
Well, whatever drives their unity, they're strong. And it is fear. I think a lot of it is driven by fear. Their goal is to be the most dominant, the most superior. That's what white supremacy is. They want to remain the most dominant. So by any means necessary, we're going to get rid of the people who are a very threat to us. Black people are no longer a threat to white people, for a whole host of reasons. We can get into it in a little bit.
The most dangerous white person out there is the white liberal. Believe it or not.
I was about to say something else, but...
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to be nice today.
As the white liberal. They pose as your friend while they're backstabbing you.
And Malcolm X said that, especially about the Democrats. He says the Republicans and the Democrats are both evil, and I'm paraphrasing.
They're both evil.
But he said Democrats are worse because they pretend to be black people's friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly. At least the Republicans are like, no, nigga, you can't join this club. No! Let's make this clear.
Right.
Let's be very clear.
Right. And Charles says, I agree. A lot of white supremacists are behind this Vic hating movement. As I mentioned earlier today, Ben Roethlisberger has committed 2 known rapes. No backlash. Robert Kraft of the Patriots owner. No backlash from his use of sex workers, but this hate. Mother effer, these white supremacists. I mean...
Facts are facts.
And you know what the cold part too, Charles, is they're very unapologetic about it.
No,
unapologetic about, hey, and like I said, how dare you, white supremacist, have the gall, all of that.
Automatic gall.
Gall to be mad at Michael Vick.
After all of these years.
Your ancestors, you're benefiting from the horror that your ancestors has exacted upon black people, and some of you are still exacting the horror on black people, but yet you got the nerve to be mad at somebody for some dogs. Not saying that dogs' lives don't matter, but yet you want us to forget about slavery and forgive you and
well,
it's crazy.
Well, you got to give them this. They ain't quitters. They're gonna try to exterminate. They're gonna try to exterminate us until they just ain't gonna give up. Because by now most sensible people would say, you know what? I've been at war with these people for. It's just it's not working. We're gonna have to learn to live with this person. No, after 400 years of hell, and they're still trying.
Right. I mean, you think about somebody like OJ, whether you like it or not, whether how you feel about OJ or not, the man was found not guilty. And this man can't go to the donut shop
without getting harassed.
He can't go get a donut without white people losing their shit. Oh my God, he's getting a donut.
Yes.
How could he get a donut?
Did you pay for that donut? Police! Put him back in jail!
Right. He's like, dude, I'm getting the donut. Can't no white women serve me no donut right now. Okay, I'll say.
Right.
Hey, Jonelle. Hello to everybody. And Al says, Vic retired from the NFL due to plenty of concussions.
Yeah, concussions,
okay.
It's and that was a long time ago. I mean, give it 5-7 years, but still, that's a significant amount of time to be away from your craft.
Right. I mean, but now, I'm like, what do you want him to do? But I would respect them more, these people who hate Michael Vick, if they just say, you know what, we care more about dogs than we do you as a black man or any black people for that matter. I mean, like, let the shit go. I mean, golly.
Well, what I think is the crime is, okay, he paid his debt to society, but you're punishing his family. What did they do?
Right. I mean,
you're denying this man his constitutional rights of life, love, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
What's new?
Right?
What's new?
Right, exactly. Yeah. We know that's what's new, but
what's new?
But the thing is, though, he has a right to make a livelihood. You're making it to where this man can't feed his family.
Well, and I looked. It said his net worth is about $15 million,
sure.
So he'll be all right.
Sure, but right.
You know, what if Michael Vick wants to go get a donut? You know, you're gonna have somebody hollering out the window, "You dog!" I mean, like, let it go. You guys want us to let stuff go.
And what I don't understand is, fast forward 5-6 years after he's retired, he's an honorary captain of the Pro Bowl. It ain't like he's playing and making money off of this.
I mean, was the man good?
Very good.
I mean, I'm saying, so that's why he's in there, right?
At one time, he was the highest paid player in the NFL.
And then wasn't he like one of amongst the first black quarterbacks?
No.
I mean, I know he wasn't the first,
but the way he played was a certain type,
I know nothing, okay?
Randall Cunningham was like the...
Right.
Warren Moon was before Randall Cunningham, and it was, Randall Cunningham was that running...
But was he among that...
Yeah, no, he surpassed those guys with the way his athleticism.
Hey, Valerie says, not the Fox Sports division. Okay. Right. Hey, Anthony says, love when I can catch you guys on. Well, we love when you come on here.
Yes. By the way, for those guys listening on the podcast and out there on Facebook Live, you guys can call in 951-331-5477. Give us a call.
Okay. You want to repeat that number again?
951-331-5477.
All right. And if you guys want the number, just ask us, and then you guys can call in.
Yes.
And Jonelle says, our unity is what this demoralizing white Zionist owned nation can't afford. Our self-love and self-awareness is feared, so the hate is real. The white insecurities is real. The investment of our demise is real. And the regulatory ordinance of us being in a state of degradation is real. We are the original people of the planet, so imagine our unity, especially economic black unity. Imagine that.
Yeah, and it's sad that that's all we can do is imagine it. It's sad that that's all we can do. Some of us can come together, but the majority of us, we just won't do it because we are just sober. And it's funny that he brings that up because a friend of mine, I think she's taking psychology classes or something, and she'd asked, does she think that mental illness is really rampant in the community? And I said, absolutely, because think about it. We are being constantly bombarded with negativity about ourselves, how we live, and what we're doing in the media, news, everything. I mean, look at the law and how they treat us and stuff. So just think how your mind is being affected by the apathy and everything that's going on. I mean, that would drive the average person crazy.
Right, and that's a good point that you bring up, that a psychological, because Dr. Joyce DeGruy, she talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome, and where we are still suffering the effects of slavery, even though slavery has been over physically since the
1960,
1865.
Right.
That stuff has just been passed down to us, and so we're just teaching it, keep teaching it, because as Jonelle says, we have no knowledge of self, and when you have no knowledge of self, you believe those negative images. You believe. Because, I firmly believe that there's also a lot of black people who agree that Michael Vick should be destroyed and should never have no career.
They want them butter biscuits.
Yeah, because they don't know how to stay on code because it's not taught. We don't know how to stay on code. A lot of people don't know what it is, and that means that we stick together to achieve black liberation by any means necessary. We don't allow ourselves to be divided like we are. Got black men talking about black women and vice versa. You're too dark, you're too light, your hair ain't real, this, that, and the other. And it's like the stuff that we fight about is so low hanging.
Yeah.
It's going to take us eons to get to the, to the more important stuff because we are so fixated on silliness. And so, let's see here.
Or even taking up mantras that had nothing to do with us, like the Now movement, where the white women totally bamboozled the black woman.
Right. And that's what it was,
yeah,
a complete bamboozle.
bamboozle. They got you out and got you to get rid of your man while she still had hers.
And we still trying to get our man back in a home, and it's so sad, you know. And Al says a few years ago, before Fox hired Vic, he was a special teams coach for Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes, and how many of you guys remember he had a short-lived reality TV show with his wife? It didn't really go well, but
never knew that.
Yeah.
And Craig says, this was put on my page yesterday. So let's see. This was put on my page yesterday. It's a shame this has been presented as a Republican approach to manipulation of the populace, because in reality, this is a topic that can be employed by anyone. All of us need to stay highly diligent in questioning the information we receive. Deception knows no party lines. Well, absolutely. I really believe in all that I just read, because as Donovan always says, you know, they are...
You don't love them hoes?
Well, no, they're both parties are the... You
I'm sorry.
Not that.
Okay, sorry.
Both parties are the same. They are, as I say, they have us in this tug of war. You know, we're fighting, we're pulling back and
Distracted.
forth.
When you're fighting, you
distracting.
don't... When you think about it, when you're in a fight, you ain't looking at who's in the audience and whatever. You're focused on who you're fighting.
Right, and so, as you also say too, that they're the ruling class. That they are the money class. We're all being hustled, because whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, they're all making money off of our being distracted. And I liken it to having a favorite football team. You know, they have these rivalries going on. It's like, well, ain't none of y'all who watching the football game making no money.
Right.
The people who are playing the football game and the owners, everybody else up there are making the money. We're just completely distracted.
Now, what's the key word you use there? And this is what I try to explain to everybody out there, and it's just so simple. Any detective movie you see, you want to know what's going on? Follow the money. That's it. And you're going to find out Republicans and Democrats get their money from the same source. Period.
Right.
So what does that tell you?
Right. But yeah, we think we really have a choice in the matter. You
Right.
know, everybody's spending all this amount of time on social media fighting back and forth. And I mean, I don't want to say I don't care about politics, because I do, because
Right.
politics, you know,
At the local level.
Yeah, it affects us. But I mean, I just feel like there's other things we should be doing. To, especially for black people, to move the ball forward.
And I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that these politicians do, and what's happening to us as a people and a community. Keeping the black man and the black woman fighting against each other. Because right now that Kamala has dropped out, what's the talking point with Kamala now?
That people weren't ready for a black woman.
White supremacy. Oh, and they're making it a feminist situation. Like, it's crazy, because that argument holds no weight. Hillary Clinton was nominated I think she's a woman, right? Last I checked.
That's what they tell us, yeah.
You know, so how can you say we're not ready for a woman president? It was white women that voted for Trump.
And you know who's spinning that narrative, or they're trying to spin a narrative?
Crazy.
It's black pundits. I've seen people like Joy Reid.
All
and I've
of
even
them.
seen, Jamel Hill say that this is what they're saying, we didn't want to vote for Kamala because we didn't think white people would.
Ridiculous. Regardless of who the nominee is in the Democratic Party, we give our vote how many percent?
Over 80.
Over 80% to the
80%.
Democratic Party, regardless. So that point doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, why? It's very insulting too.
Very.
Almost like, well, you Negroes don't have the sense to decipher, whether or not she was
What's
a good
for you.
candidate. You don't know that. You didn't want to vote for her because white people wouldn't vote for her.
Right.
Huh?
Right. But like I said, the new black media, it wasn't her donors that didn't, they're going to give her the money. They had already anointed her. Well, number one, Kamala caused her own thing. When you tell your electorate that you are not going to do anything for them, we're going to go look for another candidate. But if it wasn't for the fact that the new black media exposed her record, because if you didn't live in California, weren't paying attention, you didn't really know what Kamala's record was.
Right.
And thank God that one reporter on the Griot, when she was like, tides lift all boats and stuff.
Yeah.
And Liddy was like, okay, yeah, so in a secondary way, you're going to do something for blacks, but that's nothing specific.
Right. They gonna get the crumbs.
Right.
They gonna get what I give them.
And when the lady caught her on that, that's when Kamala couldn't answer. And she was like, no, I'm not going to, no.
Right. And so Janelle says, so what do white people forgive? Not us. What do white people turn the other cheek to? Clearly not us. They dig up things in our past to hate on, like how they dug up Kevin Hart's statement. Yeah, like the LGTB gays. Let's see. When his dream was just to host the Oscars, like slavery is our past and current state. Our black Holocaust continues because whites haven't and will not put down the false narrative of white supremacy, and we haven't separated to detox from white names and program state of inferiority, dependency. We are not beggars, but natural-born builders that must break free of every chain that ties us to a slave mind. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to make a quick edit to Jontel. Jonelle. Why do I keep saying Jontel? Jonelle. I'll see you when you get out of Facebook jail. because you're dropping too much knowledge.
Right.
You know? I'll see you when you get out of Facebook.
But I mean, you made a good point in that, they're totally not forgiving of us at all.
Right.
And it's like, we just can't wait. We just we're itching to forgive. And it's like, I know you've done the most heinous thing to my family, but you know what? I just feel like I need to forgive you because that's how I'm going to get peace. I would be unpeaceful, non-peaceful or whatever, if I forgave somebody for doing something so horrible to me.
Well, I want you to remember this. Your Honor, could I give her a hug? Would it be okay?
Please, please, let me, can I give her a hug?
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that. And then they researched this woman. What did she say on her Facebook page? That she was
a big time white supremacist.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be protecting and serving, but she was with the shits as far as, all lives matter and why I got to be here at this when is this Martin Luther King parade gonna be over?
They talk a good game when the shit ain't on them, but then then they're gonna drag out this one Negro. This woman
and they're gonna put him up on a pedestal.
This woman killed my brother in cold blood as he ate a bowl of cornflakes or whatever it was.
Ice cream on the couch, watching TV, chilling.
And I'm gonna forgive her. If the situation was reversed, do you think that white devil?
No, I'm not just gonna forgive you.
Right. What does the Bible say? An eye for an eye,
and
a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life, and a head for a head.
You kill my cat, I kill your dog.
That's right.
That was Malcolm X.
That's right.
And Al
That's
says,
justice.
Right. Al says Vic is knowledgeable, polished, articulate, classy TV analyst.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry, I didn't articulate that one very well. Yeah,
absolutely. As a matter of fact, he's from the Hampton, Virginia. That's where my son was stationed and his mom and stuff like that. And I told him stay away from the Vicks.
I mean,
because the little brother ain't doing it.
I never, other than the dog stuff, which is horrible. I never heard anything bad about him other than that.
Exactly.
Doesn't sound like, I don't know Michael Vick.
Kick him while he's down.
Well,
keep him down.
Sound like he just got caught up in the nonsense, And
that's the thing. Okay, he did cop to, he funded it and did all that stuff like that, but he wasn't running it. It was his cousin. And that's why we said in shows long ago, if you guys research D and I show, I said, when you make that kind of money and you start going into that kind of group, you got to kind of cut your bait. Yeah, because those are the people that are going to bring you down.
Money already.
Right.
Like, why? But, that's
the hanger-ons.
The man that did his time.
Because look at Allen Iverson. 30-man entourage, the man is broke. Now where are all these people that were on the entourage? MC Hammer.
But,
had all these people.
They said, I guess he doesn't have a lot of money right now, but the money is coming because his friend or something set some trust fund up. It's like $30 million waiting to come to him or something.
Well, here's the thing about the NFL. Once you play in it for so many years, you get a pension. I mean,
we're talking about the NBA, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson. But I'm just saying to have all that money and just piss it away.
Right. Oh yeah.
MC Hammer, that entourage, he didn't need all that. You can't save everybody. Right. You just can't.
Hey, Tay, he says, no, we don't want Kamala because Kamala wasn't shit. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, tell us, please.
She was a hypocrite.
Right. Damn.
Grant said, Kamala, kiss my ass.
Damn. What is going on with these folks? You know what? I got to applaud you guys because you guys didn't fall for the banana
He
in the
says, I'd rather
tailpipe.
have yang. I'd rather have yang as well. And
Right.
that's what we really need to be talking about. I mean, I know it's not reparations to the tune that we're asking
Right.
for right now.
But it's a transaction.
Hell,
It's a
$1,000 a
transaction.
month. I mean, what could you do with that? I can think of a lot of things I can do with that.
Just think about these kids that are turning 18 and going into college, junior college, whatever.
Right.
There's your money to pay for your,
Right.
without having to take out a student loan.
Right.
Or,
That's too much like right.
yeah,
though.
I know.
Yeah.
They're going to go get the Jordans and everything.
I mean, but a lot of that would help a lot of people.
Yeah, it would. How many of you guys remember Kamala talking about, oh, I have like 12 different pairs of Converse? You know what I mean? Here's the thing that was insulting about her. She never, ever said she was black. Anytime up until the time she started running for office. And then it was so condescending and so insulting that you're going to be up there dancing to Cardi B and telling us what kind of tennis shoes you have. And
The hood shoes.
yeah, the hood shoes, and then you're a Howard graduate. You never heard her talk about what college she went to until she started running. And then anybody, please, I challenge anybody out there, show me one time before she ran for office that she took her Indian ass back to Howard and repping the AKAs and all that other stuff. She never did. So, I mean, it was just totally insulting. Totally insulting.
Well, damn. Y'all ain't holding no punches today, boy. And Jonelle.
Well, the cat's out of the bag. I mean, she's been exposed.
They're all getting their coins, giving us the illusion of choice. Just a good show like The Presidential Apprentice. Now, Pam get to run as Joe Biden vice. Either way, all of them have Zionist money in their pockets, being regulated by the worthless paper we get and make more progress doing for self. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a choice at this point.
Well,
what to do for self.
We got 13 years to get it together. No, we don't even have 13 years. I'm sorry.
As of January 1st, we'll have 12 years
12
for
years.
black people to get it together. Otherwise, our
It's a
net
wrap.
wealth is going to be zero.
It's a wrap.
0, 0, 0.
And notice nobody's
what can
talking
you buy
about
with
that.
$0?
Let me think. A smile.
And I ain't gonna be smiling much if I ain't got no money.
Right, when you got the foot in your
Right,
ass,
okay.
it ain't gonna happen.
And Al says, what percentage of the things that black people don't say is racist? What percentage of the things that black people don't say is racist? So are you saying, I think I understand what you're saying. Are you saying, do we think everything is racist? No.
No.
But a lot of stuff is.
It's rooted in. A lot of stuff is rooted in racism.
And this is, because Al asked me this a lot, and I'm just going to be transparent with you guys. Al asked me that a lot as far as, do we think everything is racist? Especially when he talks to me, he thinks that everything is racist.
You got to remember.
I think I speak a lot about racism.
Well, that's because this country is based.
Well, I'm going to say this.
It's the foundation of the country.
And not really to speak for Al. As you guys can see, Al is black and white, right? Al has been raised by...
And his father's a veteran.
Right. Al has been raised by its black side and never knew his white side.
He knew!
Unfortunately, a lot of things were not taught to him as far as about blackness, for whatever reason. I'm not trying to shade his peoples, right? But also, Al benefits... I mean, if Al wanted to, he could pass.
Right.
If he
got that good hair.
Until you hear him speak.
Right. He got that good hair.
Yeah, he could pass it. So I think he's just been benefiting, if you will, if that's a good way to put it, of not having to experience racism. He told me about a time once when him and his one of his coworkers went to deliver furniture to this dude who was completely racist. His coworker was, looked black. And a guy in the house was like, and I'm paraphrasing, but that black guy can't come in my house. I don't want black people in my house. He's telling Al this. And Al said he was like freaking out because it's like, damn, how much, when is he going to realize that I'm black too, So I think he's been able to just be away from the really obvious racism, if you will.
Right,
so
right.
That's all that we asked that. I know it's an honest question because he hasn't experienced it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have some mixed nut nieces, and I'm telling you.
Mixed nut.
Yeah, mixed nut nieces. I mean, they are fruity as a fruitcake and I really feel bad for, people that are mixed race because you're not really totally all accepted here and you're not accepted there, and you've got to learn both the good and the bad of, it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so Arson, what's happening? He said, hey guys, How are you all? Just
Doing
showed
great.
up. What's
Doing
the
great.
topic? We're talking about our unity needs to be as strong as the hate that our white supremacists have for Michael Vick.
Yes.
We need to have that strong of a unity. And Jonelle says Bottom John gets no say, no return, zero sympathy for being killed in his home by an unjust invader. It shows our mentally dead state to embrace the killer of our family like they did. A good job. Now that's some good pimping. She's
Yes.
living and he's dead, enjoying a void. We need a separation and peer detoxification because we don't even know our right mind and truth. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Bottom John doesn't have a say. So, like, people
Nope.
he's saying, well, I know my brother will want, you don't
know that.
forgive her. And
No.
right,
Somebody shot me.
right, and I'm no longer here. So, yeah, like you say, he doesn't have a say in the matter.
Right.
And then, this woman who murdered him in cold blood, now she's the victim.
Right.
I wouldn't have sent her to jail with a feel good. Oh gosh, they're not mad at me. No, I would have
But
wanted her to sit every moment.
Who
in
was
there.
the judge? Was it a white man? Was it a black man? Who was the judge? Missy Ann, let me tell you, it's going to be all right. That woman should be removed from the bench immediately because the judge, you are not to show any kind of partiality to any side.
Agreed. And
Wait.
Russell, go ahead.
And before we go, I just noticed, is that leopard print Vans you have on?
They're not Vans, okay?
Well,
but that's their leopard print.
Okay, gotcha. You got the leopard
I got them for $5.
Right,
They was
okay.
on sale.
Okay,
somewhere.
no, I just know that. They're not,
Yes,
I mean, I was
yes.
like, what?
Lep-
She got the
yeah.
leopard? Okay.
$5. So anyway.
It got a little glitter to them, too.
Right.
Okay.
Wearing them in the rain. Russell, what's happening? Says Michael Vick is a great athlete. He made a
Awesome
mistake
athlete.
as well. All do in life, as we all do in life. The only difference is that he's a celebrity, so everybody knows about his mistakes. And I always say that about people who are in the public eye. We see and know their mistakes, but hell, what is everybody else doing behind their closed doors?
No, exactly. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, Russell. But here's the thing. Like my mother always told me, no matter what you do, remember you're black. Doesn't mean that you're lower than everybody, but the way the system treats you. So there's another guy. His name is Antonio Brown. Signed a $30 million contract.
I think he's just a little off.
Right, but regardless of off or
Little
not,
off.
I mean, he has nobody around him. Now he's begging to get back to, you know what I mean? It's like, get your coin and get your money first and do what you got to do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they get there to a level of celebrity, so I'm with you, and it's like they forget that the system, in the
You
end,
ain't special.
right, is going to get
You ain't
them.
special.
Because if you were Ben Roethlisberger or if you were Tom Brady, because remember, Tom Brady got caught with that phone that he destroyed when they said, we need
Right.
to see the phone. Did he suffer any consequence? He says, no, you know what? I'm going to sit out for 4 games.
He's a hero.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, for us black folks, I don't care if you're in track, whatever it does, don't forget the system is not made for you to succeed.
Right. Or to do what they
Right.
do and get away with it.
All right.
And Jonelle says, dollar, we need gold, silver, land, and natural resources. Their dollars will be void sooner than we can calculate. And yeah, that was what was going on with Muammar Gaddafi.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to get away from president of Libya. He was trying to get away from the dollar, and we know what happened with him.
Yeah.
The Obama administration murdered him.
And speaking of which, I remember a couple months ago I put up a stock that had to deal with the silver, gold, palladium type stock. You can get it on Stash, whatever the deal is. I bought a lot of it, and I just got a dividend back of like $100 and something bucks.
Oh, you know,
when the stock went up. So I'm
Right.
telling you guys, get into the game. You got to get some. What was that that they were talking about? Like, I think it was Kamala talking about, oh yeah, we're going to give them stocks and they can invest in stocks, or like something that it has to do with, it's going to affect America with stock. 61% of Americans aren't involved in the stock market.
At all.
So when the president talks about, oh look, the stock market has never been higher, 40 his base, those are the people making the money.
Right. We're in the money.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
else isn't making the money.
Right. And let's see here. Make sure I didn't skip anybody's comment. And Charles says, it's kind of effed up about colorism within our people, which is completely different and another subject from our experience in white America.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have been conditioned to hate each other, even down to the color of our skin.
Yeah.
I even see online a lot where people are telling people who are light skinned, "Oh, you ain't black."
Yeah, that's
I'm
bullshit.
like, how you gonna argue
Yeah.
with them and tell them they
Right.
ain't black?
Right.
That
Rachel
is-
Dolezal is black as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you know, they be the ones giving her a pass, though.
Right.
You know, but it is messed up. And Al says it is said before in the South, everything for black people is all about, or as I said before in the South, everything for black people is all about religion and getting closer to God and getting saved rather than being taught black culture and history.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, Al is in the South, and per his testimony, they're very big on religion. And he also told me that the most he heard is, you know, as far as his blackness and black history was about Martin Luther King.
Yeah, you know,
an occasional Malcolm X and a couple other, you know.
Sprinkled into Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah,
sprinkled in
but
there.
never the deep stuff.
Right.
You know.
Right. You know, isn't it
or
funny?
stuff that's not even really deep.
Right.
You know.
Isn't it funny how that region of the country is really deep in religion, but yet you have Pastor West and those guys doing the stuff that they're doing in the church? You know?
Pastor West?
Yeah, the guy that was eating all the kitty cat and whatever, and
Alright.
you know what I mean? The stuff that goes on in the church and all the babies out of wedlock. And I'm not saying just that era. I'm saying that's where we're living at today.
But I think it's, you know, just regarding pastors, people forget that they're human. They're not deities.
Yeah.
We look up I don't, but people look up to pastors as Jesus himself. You know,
Yeah,
so
I
when
don't,
you
yeah.
heard that he was, you know, doing some things he wasn't supposed to be doing.
Well,
like,
as a married man, yeah, I mean, it's like that's what's going on in the church, really.
Right.
You know, so.
And Arson says, yeah, that's messed up. That's why it's hard for me to look at Christianity as a good solution for blacks, because it's that narrative that was at play here. Forgive our enemy, not to mention the judge who gave her a Bible, etc. Yeah, we're just conditioned to be so forgiving, giving pastors.
Missy Ann, let me stroke you.
But, you know, in
It's
regards
okay.
to, you know, Michael Vick and white people, because it's a majority of white people who are not forgiving Michael Vick, they'll never forgive Michael Vick.
Never.
And you know what? We got to be okay with that.
Right.
We've got to be okay. Like, why do we give a shit?
Well,
whether they forgive us or not.
Well, look. When it came out that Kamala Harris was the side chick for Willie Brown, what was Willie Brown's answer to that? And we met Willie Brown, by the way.
He said that I'm glad that I was able to help her.
Right. No, but he said, but at the end of that, he said, "So what?
Right.
So what? She's my side chick. So what? And what? That's the era we live in.
What you gonna do?
Right. So what? So, you know, what's the big deal? So what?
Right. Okay. Did you use what your mama gave you?
Hey, she's doing what she's got to do.
And Jonelle says it's not as much as racism as much as it is ignorance. Just as we are miseducated, whites are manipulated, regulated, and ignorant clearly too by the white Zionists. Albert Pike, a Jew, started. Let's see. The KKK researched those who put forth the doctrine and put forth the biased movie, The Birth of a Nation. White people have to escape the courses of death that the Zionists have written for them, the false narrative of white supremacy. So it's truly ignorance. Truth crushes racism. Absolutely. And so to that point, that's why I always make it a point to say, and for the podcast, we'll come back
Right
in
back.
about after this 2 minutes are up. Always make it a point to say white supremacists, because not all white people are that way.
Most of them.
Per Donovan.
Most of them. I mean, that's a disclaimer. I'm not saying all.
Right.
Most of them.
So, yeah, so people who suffer from white supremacists, they also, white supremacy, they also do it to their own as well. Not as much as they do it to everybody else, though.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, and the reason why I say most of them is because I have friends that intermarry these white devils, and they can be black as hell or whatever, and they automatically start taking up the white supremacist point, especially the women.
Yeah, they're not black no more.
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, what? What? Oh yeah, the Trump.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially your friends, because I see
they fall for it.
Friends who are married to like a lot of black women are married to white dudes or whatever,
Right.
and they are just on the Trump train. Oh, you're
And
wrong,
some-
Donovan.
and some-
I
and
can just say that.
Yeah, and the one you're talking about went to a HBCU. Believe it or not. Yep. Now she is just like, no, the Trump thing is.
No!
That's right.
She's
the
have
best-
to do something just for black people.
Yes, he's the best president we've ever had. He's done nothing wrong. You know,
Russell
so.
says, many of these young brothers are deprived of leadership of a loving father, so they make stupid mistakes. Yeah, and I
True.
really
True.
believe that's what happened, because that's kind of what Michael Vick's mom was saying, that, you know, he grew up kind of rough in a rough neighborhood. And that
where
kind of
where
stuff.
he's from in Hampton,
Yeah,
it's rough.
And had negative influences, so he just...
And he made it out of there.
He made it out physically, but mentally he was still there.
Right.
He having a dog fighting ring.
His
and
friends
all of that.
and his relatives, they're all from there.
All this money, and you want to have a dog fighting ring, you know? But I also saw somebody made a post that says, well, don't forget, you know, who originated that stuff. And, you know, it's like people not that
Right, exactly. It's like the chicken George and the roots and stuff like that.
That's, you know, cockfighting and